Bradford City continue their 2024-25 league campaign with a home clash against table toppers Walsall FC, and in today's video you're going to find out how both teams have got on so far this season, what my starting line would be for this match if I was Graham Alexander. If you do go on to enjoy, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. But my team Bradford City, we currently sit 8th in the League 2 table. After 25 matches we've got 11 wins, 8 draws and 6 defeats, scoring 34 goals and also conceding at 27, which leaves us on a positive 7 goal difference and 41 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a win, a draw, a win and a win. We're on some really good form at this moment in time. I think the second best form in the entire division, only behind the Saddlers at this moment in time. Our last couple of matches then have been a 1-0 win away at Carlisle. There wasn't much quality in the game. Both sides had the odd chance here or there, but we managed to finally get that hoodoo off our back. Our first win at Brunton Park in 40 years, thanks to a very well worked goal in the end and obviously finished by Callum Kavanagh. Just before that one, we had a 3-1 win away at Aston Villa in the EFL Trophy. I think round of 16, it says third round on there, but a very comfortable win for us. 3 goals scored from set pieces, and they didn't really offer much in all honesty. We controlled the game, got the job done in the first half. Second half, it was just about getting through until full time, getting some minutes in the legs of other players as well. But that was a very comfortable, I was going to say 3 points, a very comfortable win. And obviously we have Rotherham away in the next round. We also had a 3-1 win at home to Grimsby Town. Again, a very comfortable win. We played really well in this game. One of the best home performances we've seen for a number of years really at Valley Parade, and to do it without Andy Cook made it that even a little bit sweeter as well. We also had a 2-2 draw away at Barrow. 2 individual errors really for the Barrow goals stopped us getting all 3 points in that one. Obviously Baldwin giving away the penalty, and then Sam Walker has to save the second goal in that game. But 2 really nice well worked goals from us. Our first goal was certainly less scrappy than the second one, but a point away at Barrow, it's not the worst result in the world. And we also had a 2-1 win at home to Chesterfield. This was a big 3 points for us. Yes, both of the goals that we scored came from errors from Chesterfield players, and they were a good side considering the amount of injuries that they did have. But to pick up 3 points against a fellow promotion rival, you're never going to turn that down. So that was a very important win for us once again. If we compare it though to Walsall FC, they're obviously at top of the table at this moment in time. After 25 matches, they've won 18. That is absolutely incredible. They've drawn 4 and only lost 3 games so far this season. They've scored 52 goals, which is obviously the most in the entire division. They've conceded 23. It leaves them on a positive 29 goal difference, which again is the most in the entire division, and at 58 points. They're 12 points clear of second with a game in hand. They've won their last 5 matches, and even more, I think they've won 8 or 9 straight games. They're on unbelievable form. I personally didn't see them having such a good season. I think I predicted them to finish 17th or 18th at the start of the campaign, so they've definitely proved me wrong. I didn't see a goal scorer in their side, and obviously the likes of Nathan Lowe, Jamil Matt have been absolutely firing them in this season. They've got contributions from the defence, midfield as well. They're getting goal contributions from absolutely everywhere. Even without Nathan Lowe, they're still winning football matches. If we have a look at their last couple of games, they had a 4-2 win at home to MK Dons. Again, 4 different goal scorers on the score sheet, and I'm pretty sure the first 3 are all defenders as well. They had 24 shots despite having only 32% of possession. Matt Sadler has got the Sadlers cooking so far this season, and MK Dons are obviously no mugs. That was a very good win for them. They did, unfortunately for them, have a 4-2 defeat away at Peterborough. Looking at the goal scorers, I would assume they heavily rotated for this game. Yeah, they've clearly made a lot of changes for this one, so I'm sure they're probably not going to be too disappointed with going out. They're clearly focusing on the league at this moment in time. But you look at the stats, Walsall again had loads of chances in this game. 13 shots on target away at Peterborough is obviously very good. I know Peterborough have been pretty poor for the large part this season, but big credit to them. They're clearly able to still create the chances against a well-established League 1 side, and maybe if they had the full first team out in that one, they would have potentially won. They had a 5-1 win at home to Tranmere. I watched this game, to be honest with you, and while Tranmere were absolutely awful, Walsall didn't even have to get out of second gear, did they? They cruised to comfortable victory in this one. Again, 4 different goal scorers in that one. Jamil Matt proved to be a real handful in that game. They also had a 2-1 win away at Notts County. Again, loads of shots despite not having much of the ball. Jamil Matt and Nathan Lowe on the score sheet, turning it round in the second half. Notts County is not an easy place to go, so that was a big 3 points for them, and they had a pretty straightforward 2-0 win at home to Newport. They didn't have as many shots in this one, but a Nathan Lowe brace was enough to see them progress through and get the 3 points. I just want to quickly have a look at the statistics of when we obviously played back in September, I think it was. Yeah, the 14th of September, where obviously they beat us 2-1. we didn't really have many chances in this game, but it also didn't feel like Walsall had that many. It was quite an even game. I think Clarkador missed an open goal from what I remember. Their penalty wasn't a penalty, but then a couple of minutes later, they should have had a penalty. And obviously, Danny Johnson had a free header in that game. What was our team for this one? I know we got a couple of injuries in that game. Both Byrne and Kelly had to come off, but I look at the players who've played in this game. Diabate, Byrne, Walker, Adore, Wright, Sanderson, all probably won't start. Obviously, most of them are no longer with Bradford City, but I would say Sam Walker will start, Kieran Kelly probably will start, Halliday will probably start, Smold will start, and obviously, yeah, Andy Cook can't play either. So you're looking at about 4 players who played in the last game, we're then going to play in this one against Walsall the second time round. It goes to show how far that we've come, and obviously now we've got more players back from injury and all that sort of stuff. I look at some of the options that we had on the bench. Verdane Oliver was substituted on. We needed a goal and we brought on Verdane Oliver. That kind of says it all, doesn't it, really? Before we do go any further though with today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 50 likes on today's video? That would be massively appreciated, and don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. What is your score prediction for this match? What would your starting 11 be as well? Now, we're not going to waste much time in terms of my starting 11. You can already see it next to me. I would go completely unchanged for this game. We're still going to go through and talk about a few players, but when we've been on such a good run, we've gone away to Carlisle, and I don't think we played amazing. I actually thought there were a few players who didn't play particularly well, to be honest with you, but I wouldn't like to then try and maybe disgrumble that against Walsall. When you go from playing against bottom of the league to top of the league, Carlisle, I was actually less confident in winning than the Walsall game, despite how good Walsall are, and I actually do think they will beat us, but psychologically I'm more confident going into the game because Carlisle is traditionally a banana skin. They're also bottom of the league. They're absolutely awful. They don't score goals, but against the better sides, we normally play very well. We've seen at Valley Parade this season, we've beaten a lot of very good sides, especially recently, Grimsby, Port Vale, Chesterfield, just to name a few. Now with Walsall coming to town, let's see if we can get the job done against them with an unchanged team. If we go through it then and speak about each player individually, Sam Walker, I actually thought had one of his better games of the season against Carlisle. Made a really good save from Kadeem Harris late on in the second half and made 1 or 2 other decent stops. At times I think I still want him to be more commanding from crosses, but I have been very critical of him, and rightly so far this season. I do think he has been pretty poor and cost us points at times. I would say between 6 and 10 points so far this season, but he had a really good game against Carlisle, so I'm not going to complain about that anymore. And I do also believe that we still need to bring in another goalkeeper. Aidan Baldwin, I thought had a really good performance as well. I've been a bit unsure on him since he's returned from injury, but he looked pretty good against Carlisle. Came off with I think a bit of cramp really with 10 minutes to go, but obviously with a week's rest he will now be back for this one. Jack Shepherd I thought was outstanding against Carlisle, absolutely excellent in the middle of that back three, and I'm glad that he's staying with us until the end of the season. Hopefully we can get him on a permanent basis in the summer, because I do think he has been very good for the large part for Bradford City. He had a bit of an iffy period playing at left centre back maybe 4 to 6 weeks ago, but since he's come back into the side when Paul Huntington got the injury, I do think he has been pretty solid. Kieran Kelly I thought was quite average against Carlisle. He either has a really good game or just not really an amazing game. I'll probably give him a 5 or a 6 out of 10 from what I remember in that one. I don't think he did much right, didn't really do much wrong, but I'd still keep him in this side because obviously we kept a clean sheet and we've not had many of them so far this season. Brad Halliday I thought struggled a little bit at right wing back against Carlisle in the first half, but second half I thought he was back to a better standard, and obviously over the last couple of weeks he has been back to the similar sort of form that we saw from him last season, so I keep him in the side once more. Smallwood just did everything right against Carlisle, breaks up the play very nicely, gets his tackles in when he needs to do so, and it obviously allows some of our more attacking players to go and be creative, get shots off and all that sort of stuff. And obviously a brilliant through ball to Alex Patterson, who obviously crossed for Callum Kavanagh for our goal at the weekend. Alex Patterson ran the game, especially in that second half. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Fantastic performance once again, and Walsall have got a very good midfield, so he's going to need to be on it in this one. Lewis Richards I don't think was amazing against Carlisle. It was better than his performance against Aston Villa's under-21s, but there's nothing that I can really remember off the top of my head where I went, wow, that really stood out. But again, he has been very good over the last 8 to 10 weeks, so I would certainly keep him in the side. Anthony Sarsvik I actually thought had a poor game, in all honesty, especially in the first half. He seemed to be on his backside more than on his feet, but he has shown he does have quality. Went close once or twice in the second half with a few chances as well, and even if he only plays 70 minutes, for example, we've got quality now on off the bench. But again, I don't think this is the type of game to be chopping and changing when you're on the back of a really good run. You've just beaten Carlisle, first time in 40 years at Brunton Park, so I would keep him in the side for this one, alongside Bobby Poynton just behind the striker, who obviously is Callum Kavanagh. Poynton, I thought first half was a little bit quiet. He was trying, but it wasn't quite coming off. Second half, though, I thought we saw a better version of Poynton, and obviously has been, again, very good for this season. Last season, he's just a very good player, is Poynton. One thing I did note against Carlisle, I think he played the full game in that one, but his work rate and energy, he just didn't stop. He was absolutely relentless in that one. There was no times where he was walking around or even jogging. He was doing a lot of sprinting, especially late on in that one, so it's good that he's had that full week's rest to hopefully do it again against Walsall. And obviously Callum Kavanagh, I don't think his performance was amazing. I don't think it was bad. He gets the goal though, and I feel like you can't drop a striker who's on a pretty decent scoring run. 3 in his last 2 matches. I know he's only got 2 in the league so far this season. If I'm being completely honest, I don't see Callum Kavanagh lasting the full 90 against Walsall. I really hope he proves me wrong and he goes and bags a hat-trick, but that's just my personal opinion. On the bench, I would have Colin Doyle, Callum Johnson, Tyreek Wright, Brandon Kaler, Tommy Lee, George Lapsley and Michael Mellon. The only player unavailable for this game is Andy Cook, so the players who miss out then through selection will be Zach Hadey, Jay Ben, Paul Huntington, Neil Byrne, Clark Adore, Gabriel Wadsworth, Jamie Walker and Verden Oliver. In terms of a score prediction, I do unfortunately think we will lose this game 3-1. Walsall are just a little bit good, aren't they? We have only lost once at home though so far this season in the league, so who knows where we could go with that. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. 50 likes, as I said at the start of today's video, will be massively appreciated, and I'll see you very soon for another one.